the Italian Dolomites. Vast, dramatic, wild. This is a region bursting with natural beauty and diversity. Covering an area of over 140,000 hectares and with 18 peaks rising to over 3,000 metres, the mountain range is a mecca for outdoor enthusiasts. When it comes to hiking, there are 6 established Alta Via long-distance routes, of which the Alta Via 1 is perhaps the most well-known, following a waymarked and well-trodden path. I set out in the middle of the summer season to see for myself what makes the Dolomites so special. Well, that's a nice way to begin the day. Look at that. Morning, folks. Day 6. It's so good to be outside. Oh my gosh. The fatigue and the overwhelm of all of the people's emotions is really getting to me. I'm feeling like I'm closing off, and it's not a nice feeling. But I did have a good night with some sleep. Happy that's happened. Also very happy to be on the trail. Feeling a little anxious because the weather's due to come in the next couple of days. Don't really know what that means, but I've got contacts with some other hikers that I know, and that's going to help share the load of decision making. Can I be honest about something a second? I think the other thing that's really playing on my mind this morning, and my heart actually, is the plastic. Just every refuge is plastic, plastic, plastic. Everything is in plastic, and it feels so contradictory to where we are as a place. It's like it feels really selfish. I think perhaps that's what I'm wrestling with. Like, coming here feels really selfish because by staying in these refuges, I feel like I'm damaging the environment. And you know, you're not allowed to wild camp, and the point of not wild camping is in order to protect the very fragile flora. But it's like, well, it doesn't make any sense, because if you can't camp, you have to stay in the hut. If you stay in the hut, you're contributing to creating all this crap, and it's playing on my nerves, because it's not what I'm about. And I'm doing my absolute best and filtering water and all of that, but it's just no one else is doing that, and it's bothering me. It's not right. It's not right. You know, I feel like by coming to these places and staying in these huts, we should be contributing to protection of this landscape. To me, it speaks of a corrupt system. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't like that. It hurts my heart. I love nature too much, and I could be fine not having this experience if it meant that it would last longer. But the reality is, all it means is someone else would take my bed and use more plastic. So, yeah. Go on, after you. I blocked the path. Entering the forest, I resolved to put my frustrations to good use and channeled them into forward momentum, sweating heavily as I ascended the forested slopes. Alright, you can see the path goes along, and up to that pass. Cool. There really are some gnarlier sections on this stretch of path. This isn't too bad, but it's been interesting. There's been a scree and just really gnarly boulders to get over. And at points, the gradient, it's a bit too steep to film to stay safe. Yeah, it feels like an adventure. You know, as much as keeping moving is the best thing I can do for myself this morning, it is important to stop. And it feels like such a primitive landscape that we're walking through, just untouched and unchanged. And first of all, I think whoever made a path here is a little bit bonkers. But the other side to it is, you know, the col we've just come over, d'orso, basically Italian for bear. And it's not hard to imagine bears and wolves and lynx and wolverines roaming through this landscape. It's really nice because from the extreme side of things in the huts, where everything is plastic and man-made and man-controlled, being out here, it does feel wild. There's footpaths and that's kind of about it. I really like it. Good stuff. We're almost at the highest point for the day, Forcella del Camp at 1933. Hopefully it's going to feel a little easier from that point. Hopefully. Here we go. Yeah, Forcella del Camp. Fantastic. Check that out, people. 1933. Woo! This stretch of walking is divine. The butterflies, which are impossible to film, the wildflowers and the dwarf pines, which are filtering the air and leaving it feeling so pure and fresh. And then of course all around these immense peaks shadowing my journey on this path. Feels like quite a pilgrimage today. Really enjoying it. Small boulder field for this last little stretch of the day. Well, you know you're nearly there when you can smell food. When you're in the middle of the forest and you can smell a kitchen. Here we go. Wow, that's an amazing spot.
Rifugio Caristatio at 1,839 meters was supposed to be the end for my day. It felt like a warm and friendly place, but as I sat looking out over the vistas, I felt something was amiss. I wasn't sure what initially, so rested up and pondered.
Change is on the horizon, people. I've got everything and I'm walking on. I'm leaving my booked accommodation for the night. It is still day 6, don't worry, nothing crazy has happened. I've just decided I want to walk onto another hut. I am here for a purpose, and that is to create a film to inspire you to get outside for your own journey in support of your well-being, whether it's mental or physical health or both. And I want to be able to film it in the good weather, quite frankly. And if the forecast is correct, then the rain is coming in, and walking a few extra kilometers in the sunshine is something I'm very, very happy to do. And I will try and find somewhere to stay further down the trail. So that is my plan now. I've had a very humbling few hours sat at the refuge with many folks who I've met along the trail from all over the world, and it's just been really nice, and I just feel like I'm part of a community here. It's a really beautiful thing to be sharing this journey on a personal level with them. So there's so much more to the stories that you see in the films that actually happens on the ground. I don't tend to film the people that I meet because it feels like an invasion of their privacy, but these people are really helping me on my own journey and my own sense of identity. And I feel like I'm having a little bit of a spiritual experience as well, because whilst the refuges have proven quite overwhelming and claustrophobic, nature has been my solace and my happy place, and the societal systems don't matter to nature. And I think that's why I feel like I belong, because so much of my life I've lived on the fringes of society. So trying to just work it all out, you know, I'm having a deep and meaningful thoughts. How can I give things purpose and give back to this beautiful world that I have the pleasure of documenting? Well, I mean, I tell you what, it really doesn't feel like I've walked very far from the refuge, and we're already dropping down to the road where the next 2 huts are, and obviously I'm hoping to stay at one of them. So let's see how we get on. Get back down to the tarmac, or down to the tarmac, and knock on some doors. Alright, so aside from wanting to walk into this epic backdrop, I thought I'll start with the furthest hut and then try this one. So, San Sebastiano.
You will a private room?
Sí?
Sí,
Is that possible?
It's possible.
Ah, wonderful.
Yes, I take...
Yes! I have a private room. It's the first time I have some privacy and space. Oh god, you know, I was getting a bit unsettled on the top there of the refuge, trying to make a decision, trust my gut feeling, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know what my gut actually wants. Now my gut's just upset because I'm not eating all the fibre that I want. But anyway, long story short, I've come here and I have a private room. This is it. It's 65 euros, which is a fair amount. Obviously I've already paid for my trip, but do you know what? I'm cool with that, and I feel like I've just had such a weight come off my shoulders in that time where I've just sat and thought and pondered and been with people and talked to my partner, and it's amazing. You know, you sometimes have to go through the struggle and the baptism of fire in order to find the lessons and the journey on the other side, and I'm so happy. What is the time? The time is 3:20. We have plenty of time to kill. This is us. Happy days. Day 6 is a very, very good day. Bellissimo. Va bene.
That evening, showered and well fed, I happily headed outside to film my much-loved wildflowers. There was orchids, cotton grass, and so much more. It was absolute bliss.
Super.